Well, it's too late to turn back now. 1 second. Is Joey and the Bliss Driving Life. Are you hearing me? Jenno, boy, these are all new people. Hi, Jenno. Hold on, let's find out about you. Wait a minute, I hit Connie. Connie jumped in, and I know Connie. Hi, Connie. Nice to have you here. Mr. Floppy Bob, you are on the ball, my friend. Everybody hearing me okay? Is that a yes? Thumbs up? Something yes? I've had troubles in the past. Okay. Yeah, okay, awesome. Hi, and Aries Lovebug. Hold on just one moment. Let's find out a little bit about Aries Lovebug. I have to have my handies. Latina California girl, children's advocate, nice. And educator, entrepreneur. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome. And Melanie is here. Melanie of Sensi. Yeah. So, so like I said, just a real quick personal shout out to Melanie. Lynn and I talked last night. We're very excited. She left again. She's gone. She's gone. She left today to go to San Diego for a few days. Then she comes back the next day. I leave to go do my whirlwind Northern California speaking tour, which I'm going to address in a second. But it's not an ad for it. It's why I went clothes shopping. Which, of course, the most compelling, two people in the room. I don't care. I don't care. I made a commitment that I'm not going to care about numbers. Oh, so this is a new coffee. It's a mocha, and it's really good. So good that I'm drinking it at almost 3 o'clock. Yes, well, I probably will. I probably will just order something on my own if I can't wait for her forever. You know what I mean? So all right, well, then it'll just be us. I'll just tell you and all the masses. Xandra! Oh, there's a mocha senza. Hold on 1 second. I need to learn about Xandra, whose name is Sandra. And looks like she's a fitness person and a Perry girl. Nice to have you here, Sandra. Hey, so look, as the hashtag said, okay, see, now you've got all these numbers and letters. How can I tell for sure? Oh, it's Jory. Hi, Jory. Nice to have you here. So look, guys, as you can tell by the hashtag, it's Bob Doyle. This means that you never know what I'm going to say. But so here's the deal. I'm just going to I'm going to tell you why I turned this on. It's not a long involved thing. If there were more people here, I also wanted to show you this iPad app that is, if you have an iPad and an iPhone, it can make your periscoping just a little more interesting. But we can talk about that shortly. So this is the dorky thing. Now this is so dorky, like on so many levels. In fact, the moment I had this moment that I'm about to describe, I said to myself, oh, God, I'm probably going to periscope about this. And this is so something that, and this isn't, I don't mean this in a demeaning way, because I know it sounds set up. Let me put it this way. When I say this, no, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to just tell you the story. So I had to go buy clothes today because I'm going on this speaking tour next week in California. And quite frankly, I just didn't have a thing to wear. Lynn and I just went through and did massive cleanup. Tidying, and I got rid of probably 70% of my clothes, and so as a result, I don't have that much to wear on it's 4 days in a row of speaking, 4 consecutive things, and I've been wearing this purple shirt and a purple tie and black slacks for 3 or 4 years, and before that I had some generic suit, and the thing is, I don't like wearing suits, and I don't like wearing ties, and the moment I wear a tie and start talking about authenticity, we have a problem. Actually, the purple tie I have is okay. It's borderline, in terms of, okay, I'll wear this. It's okay. Anyway, the point is, I wanted to get something different for the speaking tour. Something that was casual and fun and so on. And also just kind of reflected the transformed, the Bob in process of transforming Bob, right? So I did not want to wear the old thing. So I thought, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this thing that I see a bunch of guys do. And it's the whole sport coat with a colored t-shirt and jeans, that. And I thought, that seems, a sport coat is still pushing a little bit, but I can't just go up there on stage and do a Steve Jobs, right? So a sport coat, sure, why not? First time ever that I would have I've worn sport coats before, but it's always to functions or whatever, not as a fashion thing. Anyway, point is, and I don't see myself integrating it into my everyday life. So I was dreading this, by the way. I was totally dreading this shopping trip because this is my least favorite thing to do. I have no confidence, no fashion sense whatsoever. Lynn's out of town. I just, I don't know what to buy. So I'm in there. So the other part of this. So I go in there and I get, a handful of t-shirts and some jeans. And here's the thing. Now this is where it gets a little silly. Hey, Sage Light, you're just in time for the big dork moment. So all of this talking has been leading up to this moment. So to bring you up to speed, here's the picture. I'm in the Macy's fitting room with a stack of t-shirts and a sport coat and jeans and a belt, and the shoes are at the checkout counter. Totally new outfit. So since January, as you may know, I've been on this whole self-care thing, and as of this morning, it was like in Manhattan Beach. I don't understand. As of this morning, since January 2nd, it's like 25 pounds lost. Okay, so my clothes have been just falling off. And, Macy's, Westfield Mall, Slauson. That's where. This is LA conversation. Forgive us. Yeah. So the clothes have been just ill-fitting for a number of weeks here, and I'm like, I got to go buy some jeans. I got to go buy this. I got to go. I just got to get some clothes because it's just stupid. So I'm in there, and I'm wearing my jeans that are too big, a big oversized thing, and I'm looking at myself, and here comes the dorky stuff. I'm having this moment of like going, wow, it was just this really symbolic sort of, I am shedding this, it was like symbolic. That's where I'm going dorky. I'm going, am I really having these thoughts? I mean, I know people have these thoughts and they come out and they go, and it was like I shed the old to welcome in the new. And everyone has an epiphany and goes, oh yes, I get the analogy. And that's something I would never do on stage. That's just so, like, as a speaker. To me, it's just, I don't know, spoon feeding. But there I was having that moment, getting ready to try on the new clothes, the pants that are 2 sizes smaller than what I've been wearing for years, and as small as I've worn in 15 years when I was at my height of fitness. Actually, no, I think at that time I actually at one point had some 31 jeans, but these are 32, and just for me, it's been a long time. And I brought them in there thinking, well, I brought a 33 and a 32 in because I've been wearing 34s, and for a while there, guys, I had 36s. Now, this is just for me. I'm talking about myself here. That's like unacceptable. And yet, I accepted it for years. But then when I had my self-care click earlier this year, I'm like, no, that's not acceptable. So there I am. I'm having this moment. And sorry if this is just a little graphic, because I'm changing clothes and I'm taking off all this old sort of, and I could feel the energy of it. I could feel the energy of, ugh, put that over there, and then try on these new clothes that, tighter fitting t-shirts. Then this is what I wore there. This is about as big and floppy as it can get, totally oversized. Things that actually fit me, belts that aren't, whatever. I was like, it was just sort of a welcome. It truly was kind of just owning the new, 25 pounds lighter, got a different, going in a new direction professionally. And really, this, I've been talking a lot about transitioning, not necessarily out totally of the law of attraction conversation, because obviously I'm going to be in there. Thank you very much. Going to be in there. But the focus, obviously, as I've been saying on my Periscopes, is other endeavors, more creative things. Shows on Blab, doing more Periscopes, writing more music, doing more ukulele, that kind of stuff. Just really following my creative passions more and putting them out there. And not just on the side, but really like make play full time. So what I've been doing in terms of my career is trying to automate as much of it as possible. Right now I'm certifying, a bunch of coaches, and then once I've got, a bunch of certified coaches in the coaching organization, a lot of my, my business can be sort of automated, because the whole reason I ever certified coaches was to duplicate myself, to kind of be able to put myself out there so I didn't have to do it necessarily. And then, of course, I got the voiceover class that has started. And so those are going, and those are all kind of work related, but they're really fun. I mean, there's nothing, the rewards you get, the rewards for doing the certification program is immense, because we're all going through this really deep process. We're just getting started, and already everybody's stuff is coming up, which is exactly what's supposed to happen. And then the voiceover stuff is just such a fun passion. But then I still, again, want to find time to just, play music and do all those other creative stuff. And really, again, as I said yesterday, Blab is probably going to be my primary creative show platform just because of everything I can produce, But with Periscope and with just the iPhone and the iPad, in terms of music and creative broadcasting, with a couple of little pieces of equipment, I'm able to do some fun stuff like adding the reverb here. And this program that I'm using now is called Vocal Live. There's a free version of it. I did actually upgrade it, obviously, so I could get the full... yes, you can blab from an iPad. But what's interesting about this particular program is, of course, this is made for musicians performing live, which is why, reverb and things like that. And they have all sorts of different filters that you can use. Classic, delay, ladies and gentlemen. And then they have categories like harmonies. Da 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 da. Right? So you even hear what the harmonies are, and I'm just singing and it's doing it. Yes. And I know there's chipmunks in here too, I guess. There's things called extreme.
I'm in a cave. This is called cavern. I don't know why.
And then this says robot, but it sounds kind of, I don't know, human for a robot. Never end. Right? All right, hold on. I'm going to stop this nonsense. I have to remember which button to push. And there. And we're back to sanity. But it's just fun. But you have to have a certain cord. It's this cord right here. This is attached to my phone. And what this does is it allows you to plug basically external audio sources into your iPhone, because if you just tried it normally with a regular plug, it wouldn't work. This little adapter works, and then I have this, let's see, so this is the adapter going into my iPhone, and then this is a cord that basically plugs in also on the other end to the headphone jack of my iPad. So anything that comes through my iPad is the source audio for the phone. So with the right program, I could be playing music and that kind of stuff. So you can really kind of create your own audio sort of, I don't know. It just do a lot of creative stuff, right? A lot of creative stuff. And I love trying to figure out ways to use Periscope to push the technology as much as I can. And certainly I'm doing that with Blab as well. And this microphone that I'm actually using, I'm not using my headset microphone. I'm using this Apogee mic, and it is plugged into the iPad, feeding, and it's super sensitive, so I can sit it across the room almost, and it still, depending on the level, picks me up really well. So that's what I've been using on some of my Blabs. So check out Vocal Live. It's fun, but you do need the other pieces of equipment and stuff if you're going to do that. My Blab show, when I do my Blab show, when I start that, part of it is going to be featuring some of my favorite apps, both iPhone and iPad, because of course I dug for this technology. It's how to display my iPhone screen and my iPad screen on my computer, and then use that as a video source for Blab or whatever. So once I got that worked out, which I did, I'm able to do just a huge amount of things. And then with a second computer and a second Twitter account, I can have one screen on Blab be me talking, and then another screen right next to me, it's calling in from Bob Doyle Camera 2, which is another Twitter account, and it's showing the app, for example. So I can do walkthroughs of apps, or I could do full screen and demonstrate apps and things, which is one of my favorite things to do, is share apps that I love to do. And those of you who follow me on Facebook know that I do collect the apps, especially photography and music ones. And then, photography includes video. So on my Facebook timeline, you're going to find, all kinds of crazy stuff that I get. I catch a lot of grief for doing because, one moment. Oh, God, that's really good coffee. This is insanely good. Yeah, because when I use these creative apps, I'll do whatever. Gross. Give me gross. I'll create these dark images. I have to explore my dark side, and I tend to do that through photography and graphic image, visual art, if you will, computer. and through music. Like some of the music I write is, very meditative and uplifting and that kind of stuff. And then I'll do ukulele things where, they've got a certain tone to them. But then I also have a whole bunch of stuff that I do that's just like freaking like, what is that? What's wrong with him? Is he suffering from some sort of psychotic break? Is that why he's creating that music? But I just love to. I think it's important that you explore all aspects of your creativity. But I do get a lot of raised eyebrows sometimes when I share some of the stuff that I do because nobody expects it from Bob Doyle from The Secret. But again, I've always been very unapologetic about. Good, I'm glad you agree. So whom will I blab with? Well, I'm glad you asked that because some of it'll be just me being Bob and maybe bringing in callers, if you will, if I'm talking about something. So just the host, the guests, the people, the viewers is what I'm looking at. With awkward interviews with weirdos, which is the one I'm most excited about, but also the one that's most technically challenging. It will be a combination of talking with viewers, but it's different. And then special guests that we bring on via satellite. Now, the thing is, I still haven't got an easy URL. Yes, weirdo, I say, for this. But if you go to Facebook and do a search for awkward interviews with weirdos, I have a Facebook page for it where I've got a few videos of sort of the concept of it. It wasn't live. It wasn't, awkward interviews with weirdos. I just haven't created the easy URL because awkward interviews and all of that was already taken in Facebook, and I want something short. I'm open to suggestion. WeirdoRE.com, I like that. But yeah, you can check that out and get a feel for it. But I had this huge aha epiphany idea of how I want to take that concept of what you'll see there, and you'll see what's going on immediately. Like, go, oh, okay, I see this. Let's see how long he can sustain that. And that's kind of what I started thinking too. And I was thinking, well, what can I do to do that show and then, not have to worry about running out of ideas so quick or whatever. You'll see what I mean when you go there. And then I thought, I've got it. I involve the viewers in an ad-lib sort of improv way, and it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And it'll take a while to build because people will have to kind of catch on to what I'm doing. So that's what I'll do. And then, but also with my blab, with the other blab that isn't awkward interviews with weirdos, who knows? I might just so your question is, do you pick weirdos or do they pick you? When you see it, you'll understand. Now, in terms of later, when I start bringing in the callers, then we're kind of picking each other. Because it'll be pretty much like, now hopefully I'll have a producer at the time, somebody who can sort of screen the people who want to come on through chat and then bring them on. But they'll choose to come on, the callers will. But in terms of some of the other weirdos, that's a complicated question, which you'll understand the answer to when you watch the samples. But I have grand visions for that show. Now, if I would just start doing it. Hi, iLots. And there's a reason I haven't started. There's one little technical piece. I need, basically, you know what I need? I was out today. I was right out there at the mall. I'm sure I could have found something. Ishmael, of course. I don't know why I haven't made that connection. I just need a stand for my iPad Pro. Bon appetit? What, am I eating something or are you leaving to go eat? Which is fine. You're within your rights to eat. It is a Friday afternoon, 3:12 p.m. here in Marina Del Rey. It feels like a Saturday, I got to tell you. Feels like a Saturday. I woke up this morning with a ton of voice work to do, and I thought this is going to take me all day, and a few hours later it was done. But now I've got more coming in. Very, very busy. Oh, yeah, for my coffee. Thank you. Thank you very much. And this is a bon appetit. This is so good. It's a mocha. Now, normally I don't buy flavored coffees. Lynn likes flavored coffee. I like straight up. But this was a mocha coffee that I don't know, for whatever reason, got my attention. And I got to say, it is delish. You may be asking, what's the brand, Bob? It sounds great. Maybe I could go get some for myself. Well, that would be a handy thing for me to have on hand, isn't it? But it's in the kitchen, and I'm not. I'm going to grab some coffee at Whole Foods and pick up my mom. over your head. To pick up. Well, have fun at Whole Foods. Yes, I will, and I'll see you too. The Whole Foods in Austin. I remember the first time I went there, Austin, Texas, which is the home of Whole Foods. It's like going to a mall. I mean, Whole Foods is kind of fairly big, but boy, Bob, tough cookies for us because I don't know the name of the coffee. I'm sorry. I could stand up, but I'm all hooked up. That is one thing, of course, about doing this whole, hey, I'm plugged into technology. I'm not as portable because I got my iPad and my microphone and the whole thing. Now I could just pull this cord right out and go find the coffee if I wanted to. If I wasn't so busy sitting here not doing it, talking to the three of you. Tell you a secret. That's a great one. Tell you a secret. I'll think of a secret in a minute. I forgot to say, because I did have somebody asking me about this. And, I mean, there's only three of you here, so but the point is, the whole reason I went clothes shopping to have that, oh, look, I'm shedding the old and whatever, is because I am talking. I am doing my my tour, and I don't know how many of you are in California. I know that two of you at least were not, so. But I am doing that talk, and there's 40 of us, and we're all over the country this year doing this breakthrough live tour. And if you're interested in coming out to see me live, you can do that. And if not, you can, there's a package where you can just get all the recordings of everybody's talk. But it's bobdoylelikesthis.com/cbob, SEEBOB. And that's the only, you'll be, oh, I missed it. Seriously, in Russia, you looked great in the tux. Well, thank you. I mean, a tux, that's kind of a different deal. And again, I haven't worn a tux before that since, I don't know, somebody's wedding many years before. But yeah, I like that tux too. I liked the purple. And it was comfortable. So yeah, that was kind of fun. But, generally speaking, and a tux is different than a suit. The tux is clearly for, you're going to an event and it's a thing and you're not going to wear it every day. It's not, your daily tux, like a suit or whatever. The question is, now that I've bought this whole sport jacket, a bunch of t-shirts and jeans look, now that I've purchased it with shoes and everything, it's bobdoylelikesthis.com/cbob, SEEBOB. Will I incorporate that look into my everyday life? Like if I go to a party or if I go whatever, will I pull on that sport coat to dress it up just a little bit? Will I do that? Will I incorporate that? Will I become one of those people? Is it okay? I can be whatever I want, right? That's what reinvention is all about, Charlie Brown. That's so good, it almost tastes like... No, I don't wear a fedora. Don't think I could pull it. The hat thing in general, I don't do, because I have this theory that the reason most of my friends from like high school and so on have lost their hair is because they wore ball caps their entire freaking life, and I never did. I'm asking for male pattern baldness, you guys. I mean, my dad still has his hair too. Also not a ball cap wearer. My grandfather, bald. What did he do for a living? He was a forester, wore a hat all the time. I just think that something about hats, cutting off blood flow, maybe blocking sunshine, whatever, I think it accelerates the process of losing the hair. Because literally, the friends that I have who are my age started losing their hair just a long time. I love all the cup you. I don't know what that means. I still don't know what it means. Anyway, so yeah, I think I've got my hair, even though it wants to fall out of my head, because I don't wear hats. And the only time I wear hats is if I have to... Jim! Nice to have you. Is if, I'm walking outside. Oh, secret. Secret is, I don't wear hats. Don't tell anybody. That would be devastating if that got out. Okay. All right, here's my secret. Jim, somebody just asked me to tell them a secret. So I'm glad that you're here because you inspired what secret I'm going to tell. When I was a younger man, when I wore a younger man's clothes, and I was just getting into computers, I guess I'd been into them, and I got my first modem, right? 300 baud. Anybody? Anyone? Hello? where it took all day to do anything, but you didn't know because there was nothing to compare it to. And 300 baud was awesome because that was all you could get. In the days of bulletin board systems, I was on an Atari computer and so on and so forth. But back in those days, I must say, I have to admit, as a youth, I did have ends on getting software that, well, perhaps I didn't really pay for. And I actually got access to like free long distance. This is back when like things like 10.10.3.2.1 and those types of, like, you could dial a code before and then it would be pay for your long distance. And I had a line on all those codes. And so for this couple of years, I was just, using them. And then that all just went away. Where we did it was even better. Where we did it was even better. What do you mean? I don't, because I mean there's so many. So I'm not gonna say it, Jim. But anyway, it was fire station. God, does this mean something to me? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been, I mean, that's so long ago. But I do remember I was dating somebody in Athens, Georgia, it's a long distance call from Atlanta, and I relied on those codes because I was, however old I was, 18 maybe. I was barely employed. I think, here's another secret. Here's a great one. Okay, here's a great one. And this was all at the same time as this happened. One of my jobs, and somewhere I have a picture, although it's in Atlanta. One of my jobs when I was 18 years old, okay, God, I wish there were more people here to share this secret with. A little background. I went to University of Georgia after graduating high school in Stone Mountain, Georgia, to go major in broadcasting, to be on the radio. I lasted 1 quarter and I said, you know what, college isn't for me. I'm going to go back to Atlanta. I'm going to get a job in radio. I don't need this. I don't need this whole school thing. So I left and came back home to start my illustrious radio career in Atlanta, Georgia, only to find that it doesn't work that way. No. See, they want Atlanta's a major market. They want experience. I could have worked at a college station or something like that, and I was like, nah, I'm not So where did I end up working? Where did I end up? Why did I quit school? At the University of Georgia, now one of the hardest universities to get into. It wasn't back then. Where did I end up working? Anybody care to guess? McDonald's? No. Burger King? Nope. Burger King was my first job, by the way. That's another piece of trivia. No, ladies and gentlemen, nope. Oh, I used to dream about the garbage. No. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. Now, Chuck E. Cheese, for those of you who don't know, is a pizza restaurant, where people dress up as rats, and it's all built around a rat. He's a rat too, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Chuck E. Cheese is not a mouse. He's a rat. I know this intimately. So my great job, which was supposed to be working the cash register, because I thought, well, I can do that. Like within a week, they put me on what they call maintenance. What does that mean? Maintenance means cleaning up. I'm getting there, Jim. Cleaning up before the restaurant opens, and then working in the kitchen and making pizzas. The complete opposite of what I went there to get hired for, which was just an easy cash register job. So I had to go in every day, and I was taking classes at the community college. So I would take a bus, I'm remembering this right now, to Chuck E. Cheese, wearing a Chuck E. Cheese uniform, ladies and gentlemen, 18 years old, wearing polyester, on a MARTA bus in Atlanta, Georgia. Ugh. I can't even believe it. And then somehow getting myself to class. I'm sure I had to change clothes. But yes, Jim, the answer to your question is, when birthday parties came, Bob wore the rat costume. Yes, Bob wore the rat costume, wasn't allowed to talk. Right? Can't talk, spoil the illusion. They just saw him up on stage in animatronic form sounding one way. Can't suddenly sound like me. So you got a bunch of bratty kids, 6, 7, 8 years old, swarming around the guy in the rat costume, trying to pull off the head, trying to pull off the hands. Say something! Da-da-da-da-da! And ladies and gentlemen, I will add one thing to this story. Every morning, for the theme, the musical theme at Chuck E. Cheese, at least at that time, was Elvis. Which means that when the animatronics band came up, led up by our friend Chuck E. Cheese, the robot, not me, it was all Elvis music. So, I got to hear that a lot, and that wasn't enough. It wasn't enough that the Chuck E. Cheese band had to play Elvis, Kentucky Woman, but they piped Elvis all through the restaurant the whole morning while I'm trying to clean it. So, ladies and gentlemen, no offense to Elvis fans, but I have no tolerance for him. None. Zero. When I hear Elvis, I'm cleaning up a restaurant. I'm scrubbing a toilet. I'm being assaulted by a bunch of kids. Not a happy association. And yes, it totally overshadows everything great he did about music. Chuck E. Cheese ruined Elvis for me. Forever. When Lynn and I moved me across country from Atlanta to LA, we stopped in Memphis, Graceland, right down the street. Did I have any interest in going? Well, of course not. But we did, of course, drive down there, only to find out it was $70 to get in. I'm like, well, there's no way I'm doing something to celebrate this stuff that I absolutely can't stand. So we went on and moved me to LA. So yeah, that's my secret. I wore the rat costume at Chuck E. Cheese. And I do have a picture. There's one existing photograph. It is taped to the front of my... I used to keep journals all the time. I mean, I have... Back in those days, from high school all the way through college, I kept journals almost daily. So big spiral-bound notebooks of creative writing and that kind of stuff. You did what? He wore the Chuck E. Cheese costume? Or went to Memphis. Anyway... Oh, really? You're kidding. Was it actually the Chuck E. Cheese costume? One picture. And I will find, my journals are still in storage in Atlanta. But that is taped on the front of one of them. And one day, I'll share it. You're kidding me. You got a whole family of rats? That whole experience at Chuck E. Cheese was so real. There was a competing restaurant called Showtime Pizza. Same idea, animatronic things, games everywhere, same thing. They were around first, I think. I don't really know. But I remember being at work, and my boss, what was his name? Let's just call him Ray. It wasn't Ray, but it was close. And Ray's on the phone, and Ray was kind of a jerk. Sorry. Now, of course, that's my 18-year-old brain who resented everything about the job talking. So he could have been a fine person, but everything he said to me. Well, now I'm going to tell you a story in a second, and then anyway. He's on the phone. He slams the phone, and he says something along the lines of "hot damn," And of course, I'm standing there, and I say something like, "What?" Because clearly that's what he wanted. Showtime Pizzas. Oh, no, not Showtime. Sergeant Singer's. Not Showtime. Sergeant Singer's was still another one of those restaurants with costumes and games. Sergeant Singer's out of business. It was a rumor. He got all excited for no reason. Didn't happen. So here's what yes, Memorial Drive. That's right. By the way, I went from Chuck E. Cheese to working at Putt Putt Golf and Games. Kind of a lateral move, wouldn't you say? Although it was a lot better. Oddly enough, I made more pizza at Putt Putt Golf and Games than I did at Chuck E. Cheese. Wow. So here's what drove the nail in the coffin at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm 18, I'm angry, I'm resentful, I'm supposed to be on the radio right now. I'm not, what am I doing? I'm contemplating, I'm all the decisions I've made going, what am I? I'm at community college, going through a typing course, taking economics at night, skipping half my classes, working at Chuck E. Cheese. What is happening to me? Long before the law of attraction showed up, although it was in effect the whole time. So at this point, I don't know how long it was into the job, but I'm, cleaning every day. And let's face facts. I was doing a half-ass job, maybe quarter-ass. It's possible I was doing 1/6 of an ass job. entirely possible. Cleaning up but the cleanup had to happen. Well, that happened throughout the day, but I'm talking about before we opened. This is the vacuuming, cleaning the bathrooms, all of that stuff, right? And it's just not, whatever. I know I'm not doing a good job. I'm doing as little as I can and getting away with it. And one day, Russ was Burger King. God, I thought I had it. Anyway, he pulls me aside, and so you forgive the language, but this is what he was saying. He's walking me around the restaurant, and he's pointing at the floor where I've missed every crumb you can possibly imagine. And his opening line is, "See this shit here? See this shit here? See this shit here?" And in my mind, I'm going, I'm so quitting. This is completely my last week. And it was. And I went and worked at Putt-Putt Golf and Games, which, by the way, to give you a timeline, Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller, came out while I was working at Chuck E. Cheese. At Putt-Putt Golf and Games. So there's the timeline. Well, interesting question, Sage Lad. I don't know if you're still even here, but certainly strolled me down memory lane. Chuck E. Cheese, still in business. I can't say that about Sergeant Singers, and I don't know if Showtime's around. So somewhere my previous boss has got the last laugh, doesn't he? Anyway, okay. Well, I must say, I did not expect that to be talked about today. But what fun. What fun, right? Okay, I got one last story about Chuck E. Cheese. Okay, one last one, and I'm going to stop. So, I had been to Georgia, for the University of Georgia, for that one quarter, quit, came home, but I would still come up and visit. And that, of course, during those visits is when I met the girlfriend that I made those free long-distance calls to later. See how it all just works together. Bon. Hello, bon. So now I'm working at Chuck E. Cheese, so now I'm like the pizza expert, right? They had like some pizza mix, and somehow I knew like what was in the dough. Okay? Like I knew the proportions somehow of what is in this ginormous bag of pizza mix. And so to make the pizza mix, it's basically you dump it into this big, huge, mixer thing. And then whatever the other ingredients are, butter, whatever it was. I don't remember now, but did all that. But that would make, I don't know how many balls of pizza dough. A lot. Yeah, it's secret dough. But it wasn't secret. I somehow knew what it was. So I thought, well, I've got a brilliant idea. Because all my friends back at Georgia, when I come up and visit on the hall there, they know I'm working at this pizza place. I know what I'll do. I'll make everybody pizza using the Chuck E. Cheese recipe. So all I got to do is take this big bag's worth and, do some division and figure out the proportions of the ingredients. So I'm going to take a recipe for 50 pizzas and I'll just, divide by 50 or 20 or whatever it is, and then that'll be my ingredient list. What could possibly go wrong? Everything. It was horrible. It was a complete catastrophe. It was so embarrassing. The whole hall is waiting for me to make this pizza. And I'm taking these ingredients and I'm, mixing them and going, well, this isn't working at all. First of all, this is not a dough ball. This is slop, and this isn't going to rise, and it's certainly not going to roll out. I don't remember what I did. We might have ordered pizza. Plenty of places to choose from in Athens, Georgia. Or maybe I made it and just shaped this blob like pizza dough, and people just said, yeah, great, thanks. And then they ordered pizza after I left. Entirely possible. Yeah, well, yes, I learned all sorts of lessons that day about that, about trying to shrink down recipes, which every time I think about taking a recipe and dividing it down to smaller, I think of Chuck E. Cheese and that day and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. All right, I'm going to go now because it's gotten beyond intimate here again. But hey, look, you know what, everybody, just spread the word about these incredible It's Bob Doyle periscopes, because I think it's very clear that this is probably one of the most entertaining things you could possibly spend your time doing on Periscope. It's Periscope's best kept secret. But let's let the secret out, shall we? Let's just tell everybody to be on the lookout for hashtag It's Bob Doyle. Well, I didn't mean right now. I'm getting ready to stop. Oh no, all these people. Sage Light's 5 zillion followers are all going to come in here, and I'm going to do the whole show over again. All right. Well, I think I'm going to breathe now. Bob, no, Dole. Banana. Yeah. It's Bob Doyle. But anyway. Okay. You have a secret about Bob Dole? Or are you talking about the secret? I don't know anymore. I've lost track. Jim, you have a good weekend, sir. Sage Light, you have a good weekend. That's just the two of you here. And retroactively, I can't see who was here, who's already left, but I will afterward. So thank all of you who were here. Have a wonderful day or weekend or whatever. Make it awesome. And believe me, Lynn's gone out of town. I've made this commitment to do these more. I'm going to be doing this a lot. Moz Jules, you missed it. You missed it. I can't believe it.
It's a sad, sad thing. You missed it. You missed it.